governors of ECOWAS central banks and provides the following specific guidelines. A. Regarding the exchange rate regime, harmonization of the monetary policy framework and the future central bank model, the authority instructs the ministerial committee made up of finance ministers, the president of the ECOWAS Commission, and governors of ECOWAS central banks to finalize the impact assessment studies and submit proposals at its next ordinary session in 2019. B. Regarding the name and sign of the future common currency, the summit instructs the president of the ECOWAS Commission to set up a working group to include representatives of central banks and persons with knowledge in the following areas: design, graphics, economics, history, anthropology, sociology, political science, monetary science, or law. The working group will be tasked with proposing names and signs for the future single currency to the ministerial committee. Free movement of persons and goods. The heads of state recall the importance of the effective implementation of the Protocol on Free Movement of Persons, Goods, Services, and Capital, signed in Dakar on 29th of May 1979, which is the cornerstone of regional integration. 40 years later, there is a need to conduct an overall assessment of the implementation of the protocol and propose measures for smooth implementation. In this regard, they instruct the President of the Commission to organize a high-level conference on free movement in the first half of 2019. The authority also invites member states to speed up the implementation of the biometric identity card and instructs the ECOWAS Commission to ensure the its acceptance by all member states to allow holders of the card to travel freely in the region. The authority takes note of the state of execution of the mission of the Task Force on the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme and reaffirms its support for the task force and to proposals for innovative and vigorous actions in order to sustainably eliminate barriers to intra-regional trade. Economic partnership agreement between the West African region and European Union. The authority takes note of the steps taken by the President of the ECOWAS Commission following the appeal to European partners for greater flexibility on the issue of EPAs, in particular the commencement of the implementation schedule of the interim EPAs. Industry and private sector promotion. The summit endorses the ECOWAS Regional Investment Policy and Code. The ECOWAS Investment Code provides the legal framework for the treatment and operation of investment in the ECOWAS Common Investment Market and for the implementation of the policy on peace, security, and democracy. The authority reaffirms the importance of peace, security, and stability in ECOWAS for the economic development of the region. It reiterates its condemnation of terrorist attacks in the region and expresses solidarity with the affected countries. The authority welcomes the initiatives on operational cooperation certain member states intended to effectively combat the scourge of terrorism and instructs the Commission to support and extend the cooperation to other states. To this end, it urges member states to expedite the simplification of information and intelligence sharing mechanisms and the harmonization of their legal systems to respond to terrorist attacks. The authority reaffirms support for the G5 Sahel Joint Force and the Lake Chad Basin Joint Multinational Force, and reiterates its call to all member states in a spirit of inter-community solidarity to provide material, financial, technical support, and intelligence to the armed forces of the countries involved in the fight against terrorism in the Lake Chad Basin and the Sahel. Regarding the peace support missions mandated by ECOWAS, particularly the ECOWAS mission in Guinea-Bissau, ECOMIB, and the Gambia, ECOMIG, the authority welcomes the important contribution to the stabilization of the two countries and expresses the sincere gratitude of the community to true human development. The authority adopts a political declaration on the return of African cultural artifacts to their countries of origin in order to restore, preserve, and enhance the regional cultural heritage. It commends and supports the efforts already made by ECOWAS countries for the return of their cultural artifacts and instructs the Commission to submit a regional action plan on the return of African cultural artifacts at its next session. The authority invites countries in possession of African cultural artifacts to facilitate their return and pledges to strengthen cooperation, synergy, and joint efforts for the return of cultural artifacts to their countries of origin.